Hello, hello, hello. Happy new moon in Gemini, everyone. I'm just lighting some sage, of course. Okay, so. All right, firstly, a couple of little things before I get started with the reading. Number one, if you look in the comments, okay, on this video, I'm going to post a link to the Destiny Code and some extra recordings as well. So it's on a different, it's on my Teachable website. It's free to enroll, but you also get the activations and the declarations as separate audios, and I've added some extra meditations for you as a bonus. So it's all totally free. I'm trying to get as many people to see it as possible, so it's safely up on the Teachable website. The only thing is that instead of being able to actively link the recording, it has just got a link to the YouTube recording, but the declarations are all separate, and that's something that we couldn't do on YouTube. So I wanted to tell you about that. Also, 15% off until the 1st of June, okay? So add code 2022 when you're looking at either website, rockandgems.com or BDevineonline.com, and apply that code for any of my services, readings, whatever you want to do, okay? Excellent. Firstly, let's start with the Rumi Oracle. I'm feeling really, there was just a time of a great sort of flat feeling over the last few days, like think something overwhelming, you know. And sometimes what happens is that we get this sensation of, you know, something occurring, and our old mind goes back to it being something negative, right? Oh, well, what's coming up now kind of thing. And instead, recognizing that energy as not being something that's helpful to you, recalibrating and stepping into your destiny code even more. And something is like about to be very much revealed in our life, okay? And I'll be doing the January readings coming up as well. If you're a patron, you'll always get discounts, and you also always get your own different readings than I do here. And you also get free webinars and things as well. So being a patron is only $5 a month, and it's really helpful to me to keep on going the way that things are right now. Okay. Again, all the links are always in the description box, and I thank you for helping me to start to reach more people. Thank you so much. Let's have a look at this message for us to start off our reading with, and we have, it's called Blood Angel, okay? Number 7, what's going on? So I actually have my Lemurians. Here we go. It's a nice big Lemurian chunker. Okay, so you'll even be able to get the crystals all 15% off too. So the Blood Angel. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole big poem, but the Oracle of the Blood Angel comes to you with a particular message. You're being given the gift of more life. You may experience this as growth, expansion, more energy, more life force, or divine electricity circling through your system. The Blood Angel understands that in the gift of greater life, which enables a soul to live more of its essence, becoming a more palpable divine presence upon this earth, there are many unavoidable experiences. One of these is that there will be more sunsets to counter the increase in your sunrises. This is about balance. When opening up to receive more, one needs to empty out what has been to allow for a new influx of energy, right? Just what we were talking about. It's not about exchange of equal measure, For you will receive according to the greatest generosity of life itself, and thus even more shall be offered in compensation for what you're willing to release. However, release must take place, right? Its balance is the natural law. The sunset makes way for a time of night, which might be the darkness of grief or the stirring of unknown places within that only reveal themselves in clarity the following morning. Being ready to endure the sunset and the night to become ready to receive the sunrise and with it more life is your divine task now. Why is this coming to you? Well, you are ready for it. You have outgrown what has been, and it cannot satisfy your soul anymore. A part of your mind perhaps, may question whether or not you really want the change inherent in this divine gift or not. You may prefer that things remain the same, but what are you really wanting in that belief? Happiness? A sense of safety and security? Love? Remember that in any divine gift, no matter whether it seems to come as first through an obvious bestowal of grace, such as a wish coming true, or a prayer being answered, or through a hidden grace of loss or ending in our lives, there's always an offering of greater life within it. The blood angel tells you to not make yourself too small for what is happening in your soul and life now by holding on to what you know or holding on when it's better to let go. It may not be easy, but you will gain more trust in the divine, in you, in life, and great power in heavenly play can and will flow through your soul into the world. The blood angel invites you to accept the genius of life and allow it to flow through you, circulating your divine light even more abundantly into the world around you. So this comes with a particular blessing of well-being and vitality. You may have become tired or are well, but seek to engage in new projects or practices that will stretch or challenge you. The blood angel brings you the blessing of whatever energy is required to expand into where life is leading you. What the divine has instilled within your heart shall be financed with life force and energy, so it may be brought to fulfillment. This is the sacred contract of human life. The journey shall be taken by the soul, and there will be challenges, and yet what is required for divine fulfillment will always be available. If you've been struggling with your energy levels or with emotional or psychological challenges, more so than usual perhaps, then you're asked to complete the sacred honoring ritual for the cloak of Christ after we've completed this one. Okay, so we'll do that another time. But if you need to take any particular action to bring yourself healing and wellness, this will help you become conscious of and ready for that action simply through life experiences and internal wisdom when the time is right. So we honor this journey by saying, Blood Angel of unconditional life and divine love, bless me with the life force I need to attain my divine destiny. How's that? The destiny code. You need to go listen to it. I open to your grace with perfect trust and perfect love, so be it. And then we just close our eyes and imagine or intend that you can sense the blood moving through the veins, right through your veins. So much life abounds in your body and your soul. And there we go. So the sensation that we've been having, coming to us with a gift of more life. We've been working out areas of ourself that are still focused in the past. I don't know how many times people will always say, oh, I've tried this and this didn't work and now I really want to try this, but I'm afraid that that's not going to work, and I want this person to come back into my life, even though the universe shows that everything that we do has a cause and effect. Like everything that comes in is either supposed to stay with us, or we're actually supposed to let it go because there are better things. And the human nature is to hang on to everything we can. It's like if someone is showing you exactly who they are by walking out of your life, turning on you randomly, starting to be a jerk for no reason, or being moody or demanding, they are not your friends, they are not your people, and they've always been aligned against you to see how much they can get out of you. Okay? It's a tough lesson to learn, and it has nothing to do with your personality or that you're doing something wrong. Okay? It's a person projecting their miserable life on you to fix. And if you're not going to do that, then you're the jerk. That is narcissism. Don't let it happen to you anymore, right? Let it go. If you know, and this is what I always say to myself, if suddenly there's someone who's been getting support from me, or readings from me or whatever over a number of years or months, whatever, and suddenly they're not talking to me, or, you know, they've turned in another direction or whatever. Sometimes, you know, they may even tell me that they're deciding to go in another direction, which is, you know, I don't care, whatever. When someone does that though, I always say to myself, well, they were never really truly connected to you anyway. It was all about what they could get, and when they couldn't get it anymore, or it actually meant they might have to pay for your time, no, they go to somebody else. And I used to get really upset. I'd be like, what have I done? You know, have I upset this person or whatever? And it had nothing to do with me at all. These people were just nasty, and they expected things for nothing. And, you know, when they didn't seem to get that, they had a problem with it, you know, or they assumed things or whatever it is. And the biggest mistake is to blame yourself, you know. But I can tell you this, okay? If I knew wholeheartedly that I was being a jerk to somebody, or I was being nasty to them, and I knew I was doing that, then I wouldn't blame him for leaving, right? I'd be like, well, you know, I've been a total jerk to you, and if you're moving now out of my sphere, I don't blame you. You know, basically, you know, I was nasty. But if in my heart, and I mean, God, that doesn't happen, but if in my heart I know that I've done everything positively, respectfully, and lovingly, and if someone still wants to treat me like crap, you don't get a second chance to do that to me, you know? Because if I know my integrity's in the right spot, my heart's in the right place, you know, who is anybody else to tell me it wasn't? When these are the people that have problems. They're coming to me with problems. I don't go to anyone with problems, you know. And yet I'm the one that might be shady in some way or another. No, that's your negative voice talking to you, telling you, because in your life you've had everybody let you down, why would I be any different? And that's the difference, okay? And this is something that you'll have to deal with too. And, you know, people who are studying to be spiritual leaders, you know, or just work with the public, you are going to have to always maintain your integrity, your spiritual etiquette, your loving self. And if someone takes advantage of that, they can only do so if you let it, right? So, I'm just doing a Raphael message. Okay, he's telling us to get off of our chemicals, avoid allergies, etc. So this is allergens that become toxin to health and happiness. Now, I want to tell you that most of you that say I have allergies will continually have allergies. I know that sounds stupid. I know, because when you're experiencing it, symptoms of it, which I did for many years also, you can't help but be, oh, these damn allergies, like, oh, the pollen's out, oh, I've, you know, this, that. I'm telling you right now that it's a sensitivity issue And it's a sensitivity to other people's energy on top of not looking after your cellular body properly, allowing enough light to come in, working on self-healing. You're avoiding it and your body's letting you know. So if you do experience, I don't want to even say it, but that word, okay, allergens, take out crap and chemicals from your diet as well. Everyone blames nature, you know, but I can tell you, if I've had something that is not organic anymore, it will respond in my body like I have really bad allergies, right? It will really do that. If I had something that had dairy in it and it's supposed to be vegan, I will get like stuffy nose, chest cough. I will feel like I can't poop, you know, like you're all bound up. And that's just very, very quick. These are things that you don't notice while you're full of it, right? So it's here talking about caffeine free as well. And of course, if you were to take decaffeinated coffee, let's say, for example, it's full of chemicals too, you know. I just think that you have to figure out which is the worst, which stimulates a feeling of rejection in your body the most, you know, and start looking at that. And they say prayer works here. Dear God, Archangel Raphael, thank you for hearing and answering my prayer of. And see, the word prayer gets to me because we're kind of praying that things will change, and instead of expecting things to change, we're like hoping, maybe, I wonder. And the next card is acceptance, helping accept everything is going in the right direction, right? So for some of you, you know, you are going through this right now, you are feeling extra sensitive. Make sure you're declaring your protection, being very, very positive right now. If you feel like you need to rest, do it. Don't have to make excuses. You don't have to tell everybody that you're resting. Or make any kind of announcement. People will wait. Situations can wait. And you need to put yourself first. So if you haven't been doing that, then you're lowering the light quotient in your body, right? Which starts to deplete everything in your body until you can't even think straight. And then all of a sudden, you know, you feel flat and have flu-like symptoms and allergies or whatever you want to call it. I refuse to name anything as being a problem of mine. So by naming I have such and such and such and such, you create it, right? And I hear people who are spiritual complain all the time about things that are going on with their body. I'm just like, really? You know, that's like the first rule of spirituality, is that we are creator beings. We can create miracles working with our energy. And you can't create miracles if you're always negatively talking back to yourself. You know? So, intention. If someone's being a jerk, leave it. Cut it off. Okay? You don't deserve that. If you know your intentions are good, your heart has always been in the right spot, you didn't mean anything, you're just trying to help, or whatever you're trying to do, stand your ground. If you know you're being a jerk, maybe you need to apologize. Okay? If you want to maintain a relationship or a friendship or whatever. And we have the new moon, we're in the new beginning, so we need to recognize the subconscious stupid things that we do. Okay? Anyway, and we're only human at the end of the day. Nobody has to be perfect, but a true friend, it doesn't really matter how long it is between contact. You just go right back and pick up where you left off. And all this, you haven't messaged, you haven't called, you haven't this, you haven't that, and you're suddenly a jerk. It's like, well, you haven't called me either. So, okay, is this one-sided, this whole thing now? You know, I've got to check in on you, or I'm not a good friend. Get real. We need to move past all that mundane BS. That's for sure. Look, these are examples. things that have happened to me in the past. You know, I don't deal with any of that anymore. I don't deal with it. It's so cool. I don't have to deal with it. So neither do you, okay? One thing I've been doing on my TikTok is stories. And on the stories, I quickly, turn to a random page in my book. By the way, buy the book anywhere online. It's much, much less expensive. I don't have any copies of this book with me personally, other than the ones I have. My personal stash. I have about 3 that are my personal stash. Buy it online or whatever you want to do, because as I said, I don't have them with me, but I do have my Domino Angel cards with me right now. I have so many books, it's not even funny, to write, to do, to and it's all coming. So what I've been doing is turning to a random page. This is called Bibliomancy. It's the art of prophecy by turning to a random page in any book. I suppose they used to do it in the Bible, Bibliomancy. And we're turning to a random page to get a message from a random place on the page. And here we are. And I'm going to go over here. I've got my eyes closed. This is the one we want to read. It's never by accident the people that you meet, good or bad, in life. They've recognized your soul essence in this life. And people may instantly dislike you, or love you, or want to stay near you, or sense something different about you. I just want to quickly read this next part. Don't be upset by those who turn away from you or even hurt you, because you have now erased or cleared the karma or energy transference between you, whatever that may be. So every relationship in the past that hasn't worked to your benefit or hasn't been positive has been karmic in nature. And when things are karmic in nature, what ends up taking place is that we have to recognize this person in our life to balance the energy. But then we don't have to keep them in there. We do need to clear it away from us energetically, you know. And sometimes I do readings for people, and past life vibrations will come up because that's the thing that's causing the problems. You know, not acknowledging the past life energy is causing the problems. And, you know, and when you do this clearing and you recognize, okay, this is why this person was in my life and this is what it was causing me. When you realize this, then everything begins to change. Now, coming up, you will be able to see, probably tomorrow, you'll be able to see a video which is going to showcase what you're going to be doing in my semester 2. One of the things that we're doing is past life regression therapy. And this is very, very focused on what I've created as the healing chambers. And anything at all placed in this healing chambers, if it's part of your soul journey, it can be cleared away. And there's quite a number of things that can happen in this healing journey. People need everything going on right now. Like, they need support in every level. People need to be able to clear themselves to move forward, you know, fearlessly, right? Move forward into their destiny and clear out anything that's blocking that. So you will see, a new start is coming, the new moon. You will see more about this coming up soon. And we have the new moon in Gemini. So these are our messages. I'm going to have a quick look at this card. So, new moon in Gemini. Okay, so this one talks about a successful relationship, usually coming down to communication. And the new moon in Gemini is about a start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your life. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. And if you can't talk to the person, you can journal about it yourself. So emails, text messages, all other forms of communication will also help you now. So the only thing is that Mercury is in retrograde, which can block or change the way that communication is going. So this may be another reason, like if you're grumpy with someone about some kind of, I don't know, something that you thought that they meant, or some kind of miscommunication or whatever, you need to go check yourself and do a clearing and make sure that you're not just pulling something old to the surface, an old wound, and taking it out on this person. Okay, so time to tell someone how you're feeling with love. Don't be in your head, and make sure you're in your heart. For some of you, someone's flirting with you. There you go. And also it talks about reading more books. The thing about Gemini is it can be really gossipy as well. So gossip, information, people coming to you with information or whatever, but also listen to your mind chatter. When we have a new start coming here today, okay, we have this new energy from today, then we'll have another new beginning June 1st on Wednesday. And on we go again with the cycles of change and connection. Now, June marks the middle of the year, of course, and is very, very healing also. So I'm going to do a big gong hee fok choi and all that for June and see what comes up. And it also talks about when we have this new start, we need to light like a silver candle. So this is my silver candle, and it has, it's actually, I need to light it again, but it's actually just something that I keep on reusing and putting like a tea light in it, right? Because that's how I roll. And it actually brings us, the new moon intentions bring us a lot of wishes and things that we've been wanting at the last new moon, okay, a month ago. Things that you might have written down, manifestations of your intentions, etc. There we go. Are highlighted with the new moon. Okay, so you got to make sure that what you've been intending, where did you start? Because what I get a lot of times also is people really start gung-ho in a situation in their life, right? They jump right in with 2 feet, but they don't keep going. They get scared and they go right back to something they were doing before. And you're really being asked not to do that. Don't do that. We want to jump into our destiny code. We want to expect, I just keep on rolling pages over, it says, expect powerful change. Looking at the bigger picture. I'm just doing random cards now. Balancing spirituality and practicality. Dreams needing a practical plan. You need to stick to what you originally decided you were doing with your future. Because if you keep chopping and changing, the universe doesn't know what the hell you want. Oh, she wants this now. Oh, hang on, she changed her mind, she's going back. Okay, she wants that now. Okay, hang on a minute. We just about had that other thing ready for her, but she couldn't wait, so now she's going back now. Okay, now she's doing that thing. Okay, someone's pestering her now, so now she's going back into being really annoyed about helping someone that doesn't appreciate it. Okay, how long is it? Okay, she quickly snapped herself out of that one. All right, now she's focusing herself back on the path again of where she's going. Oh, hang on a minute, she's getting distracted over here by everybody's demands. Oh gosh, and there's all these bills coming in. She's pulling her hair out right now. Okay. Now she's nearly... Okay, now she's back on the path again. This is what the universe is seeing you do, right? We have to remember luck is on our side as well. Like the universe is seeing us in all of our confusing states of mind. We have to try to keep a practical plan, as it says here, and just keep on focusing on it. We don't need to know how something's going to work out. Like, oh my God, when you're working for yourself, especially online, you don't know what's coming in one day to the next, let alone 1 week to the next, And I can see why people would go back to their everyday job that they had before, because they don't trust that you know, everything's going to work out, because it can get hard, right? Like really hard. But again, that back and forth energy from, you know, you giving the universe mixed signals. Basically, you got to tell yourself a new rhythm. Okay, you got to tell yourself a new rhythm. Everything's going to be easy. I'm stepping into my destiny. I've already asked for this, so I'm just going to allow it to come in without getting myself entangled in it, of knowing how. Like, I started the academy and I'm like, well, you know, I'm just going to have to trust that people come, because, you know, the economy is not great, or it hasn't been. Many people are focused on that. I get it, totally. But I have to trust, you know. If I don't trust, how am I going to teach you to trust? I've got to trust what I set out to do. And away we go. Okay, I'm using my cat tarot because they're just amazing. I had these a long time ago. I was telling the patrons they had their own reading yesterday. I had these a really long time ago. So what I'm going to do is, now that we have this new moon, okay, what's going to occur because of it? So now that we have, let's have a look at the moon going on here. Okay, so let's have a look at the moon. Where are you? Because the reason I do it this way is because we're setting an intention with the cards. Okay, so here's the moon, all right? So we're going to put him here. So he's telling the other cards, hey, this is what's going on now. Okay. And there's different, like, categories of these cats. Like, you got emerald, cat, sapphire, diamond. Okay? And they each come from different places, so it's kind of interesting. It has like a tiny little book. There used to be a bigger book with it, I'm pretty sure, but we'll take a look. Okay, what can we expect now that we have this new beginning, we have this new moon? What's going to happen now? Give us some insight, please. Also got the Nostradamus cards as well. We've got Lenormand, away we go. What's going to happen now? One thing is we're going to let go of the past, like once and for all. It has no place in an abundant future. Okay? We're not going to let others dictate our life. We're not going to give in to fears and worries, etc. We're going to learn to embrace our new selves. Okay, everyone. So I'll pull these up when it's their turn. Here we go. Look, everything changes. This is what the moon is bringing. Okay, the moon is bringing the transformation. And people get freaked out about the death card. You really shouldn't, because it doesn't mean anything on its own other than transformation. Okay, change is inevitable, everybody. Change is inevitable. Change is something that you're asking for. Here it comes. So even death, in this particular message here, has his companion cat. There you go. Symbolic of the passing not only of human life, but the animal life as well. The cat is in hunting position while death looks us squarely in the face. Hazy circles in the background symbolize the eternal life cycle with no beginning and no end. So here we go, transformation, clearing away the old to make way for the new. It's exactly what we just said. Risk for renewal, unexpected change, abrupt change of the old self, though not necessarily physical death. The ending of a familiar situation, in some cases a friendship. Beginning of a new era. Okay? The reverse meanings are a loan that won't be repaid, stagnation, slow changes, partial change. Okay? So we've got to remember that we asked for this massive transformation, and here it is, okay? In the light of the moon, it's even the same kind of coloring here. We change everything we once knew. That does not need to be, to me, this is everything we've asked for with our destiny code. We've asked to step into the, oops, hang on, I've got a whistling in my ear. All right, so we asked to step into the destiny code. It's happening, okay? Along with this, we have the Two of Swords here. Now, the Two of Swords, see, this one's looking into our future. So the Two of Swords is just like a little bit of being kind of blinded to something going on around you. And maybe this is a thing that changes as well, right? Maybe this changes and we finally do see what's going on around us. So the Two of Swords here, it's a cat in it again. So here it is. This is a different family. So the swords have their own family. The man hefts a sword in each hand to test its balance and craftsmanship. He stands in an attitude of firmness and confidence. His fat cat gazes up at him with affection. So this is harmony. This is firmness, affection. A situation that needs balancing. Okay, a situation that needs balancing. Now, just a moment. The swords. So the swords are the ruby kingdom of Thenosis, right? Thenosis is the ruby kingdom. Let's have a look. Okay, so a balance is needed here. So we change the way we defend ourselves, change the way we're seeing something, clear the air. Okay, take a fresh start. Acknowledge your mind twisting capabilities, where you can be convinced that something is going on when it's really not. And the reason that you're convinced of it is because of past energy where all you've had is pain and upset. You have to let that go. Otherwise, that is all you will see. And you will create it even where it doesn't belong. All right? And then we move into this, rejuvenation. How awesome are we? Look at this. Rejuvenation. We are being helped, I'm telling you. This was something that we needed to do. The woman leaps fully grown from a pod-like form. She reaches skyward in a gesture of great joy at being alive and having the opportunity to rise successfully to great achievements. The cat's face and body position express exultation and joy. It's currently in its 9th life and looking forward to a 10th. Each of the cat heads, which represent the cat's past 8 lives, has a different expression, symbolic of some mood or event in the past. See, I love how it all backs up, you know, that we're leaving this past behind us so we can move into the future that we really want to see. So it is talking about judgment, the need to forgive, a moment to account for the manner in which we used our opportunities, rejuvenation, rebirth, improvement, developments, promotion, effort that ends in a just reward. Sometimes this might be legal judgment as well. And you should carefully consider the effects of present actions on other people. Okay, so if you're assuming something or you've gotten upset about something, remember the communication card is there. And ask yourself if this is you. Like if you're upset about something with someone else, is it you because that's what you expect? Did this person really do anything? Do you know their nature? Like what's their true nature? I mean, we know some people are nasty, okay? That's their true nature. But if someone's always been really nice and kind to you and understanding and supportive, why would they suddenly be different than that? That's where people need to be really careful. Is like someone's proving to you that they're always a true and honest person. So if you're feeling like you're being, I don't know, led astray somewhere, where's that come from? It sounds like a negative thought pattern coming back in to throw you off a course that's really good for you, you know? So yeah, if someone is always being passive aggressive and nasty, and then you're turning away from that, okay, good for you. If someone's always kind and nice to you and understanding, why would they suddenly be nasty to you? They wouldn't. So have a look at where those ideas are coming from, if that's the case for you. And it's the case for us, you know, throughout our life in different aspects, where we may always expect something to go wrong, and it's a fear of it going wrong, right? It's a stress that keeps on being louder and louder and louder in your brain until you squash it. And that's what we need to do. And we rejuvenate and we move into, oh my God, the Empress energy. Okay? As you can see, moving into our futures here. Oh my God, the Empress, how fantastic. This card keeps coming up a lot. So this is motherhood, of course. It is feminine energy. It is nurturing. It is kindness. It is abundance. It is growth. It is change. It is animals as well, having babies. Our BB is any day due for her babies. We don't know how many she's having, but I did the math yesterday, had a look at all the dates, and she's like got 3 days to go to be due. So it's like crazy. So the Empress is very practical, and she is concerned with the nitty-gritty of everyday life. She's shrewd, forceful, open-minded, and opportunistic. She wears a helmet-like headdress to symbolize her strong, no-nonsense outlook. Her snow leopard companion appears docile, but really he's on the look for any opportunity that presents itself. So the Empress is very much the feminine counterpart of the Emperor card. So this talks about progress and action. It talks about natural energy, development, fruitfulness, accomplishment, day-to-day details, mother, sister, wife, marriage, children, material wealth, evolution, a leader, decisions founded upon all the facts at hand, the motivator of a successful partner or husband, a businesswoman as well. So, very practical application of your skills, right? And total protection and devotion for you as well. Have the ability to do anything you want. It's now time to write for yourself a new script. Like, what's it going to be? And oh my God, the ultimate happiness card. All of these cards, okay, except for the death card, which is, and well, the moon, but we weren't including that. But the death card is looking right at us. All the others are exalted. These hands are up in the air. Okay. This hand's up in the air. This hand's carrying the staff or the scepter. Right? We're all celebrating in these cards in one way or another. And then the Nine of Cups. So that is the Azinger, the Topaz Kingdom with the cups. And we see the number 9 here. A man's success is displayed for all to see by the richness of his robe, jewels, and cachet of golden cups. His cups are neatly stacked, like trophies that he's collected. He contemplates the delights of one cup as vapors rise upward. So this is success, material attainment, advantage, well-being, abundance, good health, victory, and difficulties surmounted. You've done it. You're looking at the things that you've been able to achieve, and you are extremely pleased with yourself because you didn't give up. Okay? There are plenty of people that give up and they have amazing support and they go back to what they feel they are comfortable doing. So what? We have to just be accountable for ourselves and keep on moving forward. I also feel like overall, these changes that we've been experiencing, we've just been experiencing them over and over and over again. And especially the last 5 years, we've just gone through change after change after change. Many of you, if you look past in the last 5 years, have had a lot that's occurred in that time. And not all of it positive, of course. So you've been through it. You've been through being unwell, being locked in, being abandoned, being treated like crap, being pushed out of positions, or changes in jobs, or changes in location, and worried about this and worried about that, and stressed about this and stressed about that, and losing people over here and there. And in all the meanwhile, you've been focused on just growing through this whole situation. You've been focused on change. You've been focused on ascension, getting out of the nightmare. And now you are. Okay? You're going to see these results of all of your positive thought forms, all the things that you've been doing, all the clearing that you've had, and the knowledge that's come in, and the lessons that you've learned. And you're putting it all into action and are going to be very, very, very pleased. This is actually the wish card. Make a wish. It is a new moon. You make wishes on new moons. Okay, let's keep going. Beautiful. Okay, so we are moving exactly in the right way forward, right? Okay. So, let me see. There's my angels. There we go. Get a Domino Angel card, and then I'm going to pull out the Nostradamus and some Lenormand cards as well. Again, you can get everything's 15% off at the websites just until June 1st. So get in there. If you want to get discounts all the time, just be a $5 patron. You'll always get 10% off. Okay. Unless I've already discounted something, that's the only time. You also get free webinars when you are, or at least free readings and connections, but I do try to do a webinar for you or something where I'm live with you. So it's $5 for that, and I do appreciate it. Some people just take your $5 and that's it. You don't get nothing. So I really do try to look after my patrons. Okay. What do we need to know, Domino Angels? Angels of Water. The angels of water are with you, and this may indicate a pool party, or else you need to drink more water to help with achieving your goals, okay? Double your water intake for 3 days. You'll notice an amazing difference, and it's a good way to flush negative toxins from the blood. And it's a good thing if you've been experiencing that hateful word, allergens, right? Clean them out. You may also find that if you feel alive near the ocean, and you may need a day at the beach, any body of water will be helpful right now. I do have to admit that I miss the beach a lot, living in Colorado. Nowhere near the beach. First time in my life. Okay. And Archangel Raziel comes in, inspiring you to put action that wonderful idea that you have. Don't let someone else get these credits for these ideas. Okay, any creative pursuit that you've been putting off is actually going to do very well and bring in the money that you need. Don't delay. Whatever that creative impulse is, put it to work for you. Someone may also inspire you to make life changes that benefit many people. Raziel brings you ancient wisdom, the destiny code, moving forward, putting into action your own ideas. Archangel Uriel with the 6. You may need to face the past and let it go completely. Something is bugging you. It's not in your best interest to lose sleep over it. Ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? Why is it getting under my skin so much? I always check myself like that. If something's not working, or if I'm feeling like something's getting under my skin, I'm always looking at, did I do anything? Did I really, what did I do, if anything? And then try to figure it out from there. So you're much stronger than you imagine and have all the power of the universe flowing through you. So now is the time to change your thought patterns. Let it go. Do not listen to gossip. That goes right in with the energy of Gemini. And Uriel will really help you to bust out of your busting out of your old habits. Like Uriel really helps you with that and understanding yourself psychologically. I mean, that's how I was able to do all the work that I do now, was looking at things on a psychological level, working with Archangel Uriel, Michael, a whole ton of them really, to focus my energy onto what are my habits and how can I change my habits. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to know what your habits were. You're not telling anybody. You're just recognizing them yourself, and doing something about it, because your habits can destroy you or liberate you, one or the other. And what you need to do is just figure out where you are still doing something that's destroying the pathway that you're looking for, right? Okay, so if you've been watching my previous videos, I've been working with these Nostradamus cards, which give us a quatrain that we can go with, and some of them are freaky. Some of them we have no idea what the hell they mean, and I don't really study this book or anything off camera, or I haven't been. Maybe I should be. But we will discover what's going on around us because of this new moon, what's going to come up. And I just thought of something the other day. If you were watching my Lenormand readings probably about a month ago, because remember with Lenormand, it takes about a month to 6 weeks and things start happening. And it kept showing the children, and it kept showing like violence and destruction and the children. And we were all thinking, because it is happening, like children are being rescued, children are being saved, from slavery and, sex slaves and all this sort of stuff. But the thing that happened just recently in Texas with all the children. So maybe we were getting some warnings here. Sometimes it's really hard to put it into context for so many people. But the Normans are very, very to the point, and we will do it again just to check in on things at the end of this message. But now we're going to do this tarot, and of course you can get any services from me. I do offer Lenormand readings on my website, and I have discounted some of my readings as well, so maybe now's the time. Okay, here we go. All right, thank you, Nostradamus, for guiding us into our future, helping us to navigate through these messages today that are going to be coming out in this reading. Okay, I'm just focusing on whatever it is that we need to know, like immediately, whether it's worldwide or in your own world, it comes to the surface. Okay. This one over here, so we can add to this pile for clarity if we want to. All right, so as always for me, I start in this direction. Okay, where are we at? Here's the starting point. We are at the Hierophant point. Okay, so traditionally this is about our ability to learn, share, teach, and lead others. Okay, you have a lot of abilities here, and I just want to take notice of these keys to destiny here. There's 2 keys in this instance, and we're going to look at these different things too. Okay, so what is the Hierophant in the Nostradamus Oracle? Oops, I put the book back in there, of course. Okay, so what is the Hierophant? It's number 5. Okay, so we need to pay attention to the numbers on the cards as well, right? So the 5, the actual... Okay, so the quatrain says, eyes closed, but open to ancient imagination. Monkish habits will count for nothing. So this is about a period in which old traditions prior to Christianity are seen to have great value, right? So it says, eyes closed, but to ancient imagination, monkish habits will count for nothing, because we know that there's a different way from what we've been shown. We know this. So here we go. The Hierophant represents a person whose wisdom is supreme, someone to whom you may turn unhesitatingly for advice and direction. Yet there's also a sense that tempers the belief in this person's position of power with doubt and caution. So the Pope actually means father, and the oldest name for the Hierophant in tarot is the Pope, and as such, he balances the female Pope or Papess, number 2 in the sequence of the major arcana. So the name was changed to High Priest or Hierophant in the 18th century by Court de Gebelin, one of the most influenced developers of the tarot, though even earlier than this, Protestant influence had encountered or encouraged the substitution of figures such as Jupiter. So we decided to keep this title rather than returning to the older title, in part to differentiate, okay, blah blah blah. Okay, so basically in the old Nostradamus, it was more about the power of the Vicar of Christ. So there are a lot of Pope images in this book, and no 2 are exactly the same. And so the Pope is standing with arms outstretched, holding sacred keys of St. Peter in one hand, and the triple cross depicting the 3 crucified figures on Golgotha, the site where Jesus was crucified, in the other. In addition, an angel hangs above his head, seemingly sounding its trumpet to announce the presence of significant figure. Okay? Now, wait a moment. There's usually some kind of astrology in here. Artes liberalization. There's an owl. There's a few different things on this picture. Anyway, okay. Keys of St. Peter. Right. So the men who held office during Nostradamus' own lifetime included Paul's III and IV and Pius V. All 3 were powerful men in their own right, and in the case of Paul III, presided over a fiercely anti-Protestant counter-reformation, which resulted in the Divining Council of Trent in 1545. So by all accounts, Nostradamus was a devout man, but he was also a renowned joker, and it wouldn't be uncharacteristic of him to portray the wearer of the papal crown in this light. So the way that he's got the hanging flaps of the papal crown hanging down and the elongated face, there's almost an animal-like quality to it. So he may have been poking fun of this as well. So this talks about belief, a master of high wisdom, mercy, historic knowledge, tradition, inspiration, marriage, and good advice. Okay? This is where we're at. And then we have this interesting card here. Okay, this is going along with it. What the heck is this? This is the Eight of Worlds. I'm sure there's going to be something interesting in these hand gestures here. Eight of Worlds, okay? Is it worlds or spheres? Okay, Eight of Spheres. No worries. Yep, okay. All right, Eight of Spheres, let's go. Born under the subjugation of shadows, he will reign supreme and with sovereign kindness. Oh my God. Born under the subjugation of shadows, he will reign supreme and with sovereign kindness. Now this is from the Cochrane 541. Under the influence of Saturn. How many times have we been looking at Saturn? The bringer of knowledge, a lone scholar sits sunk deep in thought. The fact that he's partly naked shows that he has put aside worldly pursuits in order to contemplate the infinite wisdom, accessible to all, but sought by few. His left hand is pressed to his ear, showing that he is shutting out distractions of the world and listening to his inner voice, while his right hand is raised in a typical gesture of blessing. He will not retain the wisdom he acquires for himself alone, but he is going to share it with the world. Hello. This card indicates a very practical, careful, organized person whose course through life appears to be smooth, but this is mostly as a result of extremely hard work and a highly developed sense of purpose. You are probably an excellent and diligent scholar. If you're an employer, you are much concerned with the welfare of your workers. You like to offer scholarships and take in apprentices whom you train with rigorous application. You also have a tendency to be heavy-handed with people, charging ahead without thinking first. So, this talks about a legacy, practicality, apprenticeship, scholarship, purposefulness, listening, equality, modesty, knowing that you will reign supreme with your kindness. You have to listen as well for what your inner self, your inner wisdom is telling you. There's a lot of information coming because we've activated the Destiny Code. If you haven't done it, don't worry, I'll send you to the website where you can do it and also experience some extra meditations for yourself. This is the thing that sets us apart from others, and this is the reason that I feel I am set apart from other mystics and teachers and all of this, is because my true goal is to help the world to help itself, to help you help yourself. That is my goal. That has been my only goal from day dot. Because of the way that I was treated throughout my life, I thought, well, I didn't have anyone there for me. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to do something in a different way, in a unique way. And I'm going to stand behind it. And this is you as well. You need to understand there's so much more in you that you haven't even tapped into yet. Stop worrying about mundane BS and drama. Pull yourself away from it and activate your Destiny Code consistently and, consciously, and trust that this will navigate you forward. It's time. Many of you are receiving messages of what you need to do next. Okay, so now we move into the Six of Suns. After listening, contemplating, studying, Six of Suns, right? So the larger force will be driven from the road. Oh no, this is not it. Huh? 6 of... Wait a minute. That looks like a... Oh, 7. I didn't see that. 7 of sons. Okay. Beaten by 7 bishops with heavy vine sticks by those who will take over authority. Oh, hang on a minute. The quatrain is 682. The message is beaten by 7 bishops with heavy vine sticks by those who will take over authority. So, okay. Beaten by 7 bishops with heavy vine sticks. Okay. Those who are going to take over authority. Okay, let's go. Not surprising, since this card is ruled by Mars, there's a strong element of battle in the background. Living in a time when kingdoms rose and fell constantly as Europe became the extended battlefield of the 30-Year War, Nostradamus includes many images of warfare in the Lost Book. The stark simplicity of 7 mounds, which are the central image of this card, suggests that they await conquest, but that there's no one powerful enough to accomplish the feat. Only the influence of Mars offers the necessary strength to accomplish the task. You see, so Mars brings us determination. So when Mars is in a special conjunction, we see the overthrow of 7 key players. Oh my God. The meanings of this card are about successful outcome of a prolonged struggle. You've ascended the tower, you've scaled the mountain, you've climbed the hill, and there at the top you look around and all you see is yours to command. Meetings, discussion, negotiations are all important aspects of the route you've taken, and equally of the route you will take in the future. The pendulum has swung high, and you should make the most of the opportunity to take stock, measure the extent of your ambition, and begin to set in motion all that is necessary to reach your goals. So it talks about meetings, discussions, success, advantage over others, negotiation, and profit. We have to pay attention to Mars and what Mars is doing, what Saturn is doing as well. It's come up more than once in these cards. But something's going to go down, and it had to be when all of the energy was in the right place. Oh my God. And then we have the star, which is the healing. Okay. Oh my God. All right. The star, which is this one here. Okay. All right. So the quatrain is 289, and it says, the 2 great masters will be joined in one yoke. Their great strength will be enhanced. And this is coming about the 2 great masters will be joined as one, basically. Their great strength will be enhanced. And this is a prophetic reference to US-Russian alliance in the 23rd century. So, in this instance, let's have a look here. In some ways, this is Nostradamus's card. It represents the coming of hope, but its underlying meaning is connected with fortune-telling and prophecy. Essentially, the star is about the rising of hope and positive feelings on your personal horizon. It talks about a strong, idealistic approach to events which drives through all nascent problems and shines its light into the darkest corners of the situation. It is thus a very well expected card for, or aspected card for times when you're thinking of beginning a new enterprise, moving to a new place, or simply having a fresh start. Hello, new moon. It has all the vigor and determination that that such decisions warrant, and it puts you center stage, literally as the star of your own life. Think of it as representing a moment of opportunity or making the right choice at the right time without any fear of mistakes. So from the center of your being, in a place of absolute calm, you can look out and see with clarity everything that's happening and all possible permutations of any action you take. And it talks about hope, expectation, fortune telling and prophecy, healing, rebirth, gifts of light, inspiration, good luck, idealism, and destiny. Oh my God, is that word going to come up anymore? So astronomy and astrology were of central importance to many people in Nostradamus' lifetime. And in the so most decks today represent the star card as a woman with 2 jars pouring water into a stream with between 5 and 7 stars in the sky behind her. This is generally Aquarius, right? The water carrier. But in earlier decks, the iconography suggests an identification either with the morning star, which is Lucifer or Venus, or with the Star of Bethlehem. In the tarot of Edmond de Rothschild, now in the Louvre Museum in Paris, the 3 kings, Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar, are portrayed bringing their gifts to the Christ child under a blazing star. In the 18th century, the symbology underwent a further change, with Court de Gebelin identifying it with Sirius, the dog star, and the figure with Isis. But in each instance, the meaning applied to the card remained more or less the same. It was a universal sign of hope, either in the form of the morning star, the prophetic Star of Bethlehem, or the beneficial influence of Sirius and the goddess. Only in more recent times did the meaning become curiously associated with anything negative. In the 19th century, A.E. Waite, following the wayward thinking of Atelier, gave the card the meaning of loss, abandonment, or theft, but this remains a very doubtful description. So in the imagery of the Lost Book, we find the picture of the sun, our own nearest star, with a griffin holding a spear, to be the most appropriate. From ancient times, the griffin, part eagle and part lion, part eagle, part lion. Okay, this is important. Part eagle, part lion has been associated with guardianship, protection, and courage. In later times, it became associated with Christ, the eagle half representing heaven and its lion part earth, so that when combined, it expresses the heavenly and earthly aspects of Jesus. Something's going to change here. This is like 2 great masters will be joined in one yoke. Their great strength will be enhanced. Oh my God. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, these 2. All right. These 2. She's smiling and he's not too happy. Okay, we've had this once before. So this is the 2 of Sons right now. Okay. 2 of Sons, okay? When the sun takes up the cycle of its missing days, then the summit of my prophecy will be accomplished. When the sun takes up the cycle of its missing days, then the summit or the peak of my prophecy will be accomplished. The planet Mars, okay, Mars. We gotta look at Mars in Gemini, I guess, which is now. Mars has an astrological influence on this card. As the planet of war, its negative effects on the astrology of the individual suggests a quarrelsome, angry person who tends to clash with those in authority. Maybe someone who's in a position of great power, who's reached the pinnacle of their life and yet finds no satisfaction. One of the, okay, so that's reversed, okay. The secret here is to find a way through the thorny jungles of wealth and possessions which can clutter our lives without giving us more than fleeting satisfaction. So Nostradamus' imagery presents us with two crowned rulers, king and queen. The latter is smiling, the queen is smiling, and the former is revealing the weight of his role. So it's achievements, maturity, a hot temper, iron logic, over boldness, determination, fights, but new possibilities. Mars. Where the hell's Mars? Because something's going to happen when Mars is very prominent. Okay. This is like the weariness that we see with people of prominence right now. They look exhausted. And this is talking about the astrologer right here. So some of these cards we haven't seen. Okay. This has got a few different symbols in it. The astrologer is 12 of worlds. Oh, astrologer of spheres. Okay. This is different. Okay. This is from quatrain 871. So great will grow the astronomical crew that, hunted and banished, their books will be censored. Well, you know they're trying to change everything already for many of us, right? Making it difficult. Everything's going to be censored, okay? And that was right about that. There's nothing in his book right now. Okay, let me see what this means. The astrologer is William Lilly in this picture here. From 1602 to 1681. He was famous in his lifetime for predicting the Great Fire of London in 1666. So accurate was his prophecy that he was arraigned on charges of having started the fire. Just as Nostradamus revolutionized the idea of prediction, Lilly changed the face of astrology forever when he published Christian Astrology, which attempted to make the subject acceptable in Christian terms. Though his prophetic skill never rivaled that of Nostradamus, he was consulted by many of the most significant figures of his time and issued a number of almanacs predicting events on a yearly basis. After the restoration of the monarchy, however, he was largely forgotten. Okay? So, the astrologer of spheres is a good man to have on your side at any time, but especially when you're in a tight spot. His active nature, strength, and determination are all qualities which, when placed at your command, can turn a situation around. And on a personal level, this card suggests success as a result of perseverance and knowing how to work well with others. You are probably a careful, obliging type whom everybody likes to depend upon. So this can be someone as success from strength of will. This is determination. This is, in some cases, an active person. And lucrative action. It's necessity. It's necessary right now. It's funny. he tried to make the subject acceptable to Christians and they just wouldn't have it. But he did predict the Great Fire of London in 1666. Okay. See, I know without astrology you can predict a lot of things in a person's life, but my problem is that I don't want to limit anybody on their experiences. You know, so someone asks me a question about something and I don't want to give an answer that's limiting. So instead, I'll give possibilities, okay? But also try to work out why they want to go in a particular way or why the answer had to be a particular thing for them. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear some kind of, I don't know, fluffed up thing. And I don't know how many readings in the past I've done where, someone would ask me about something, I would give them my advice I wouldn't hear. So I'd be thinking, okay, no news is good news. 3 years or something might go by and all of a sudden I get this out of the blue email saying, I was really annoyed about that reading, like I didn't want to hear that at the time. And now I'm really glad you told me the truth because nobody else did. And I pride myself on that. Like, I don't want to say, okay, this is exactly what's happening. Again, you don't want to limit someone, but I'm not going to lie to you either with what I feel is going on. And again, it's just my feeling. It's my interpretation of your situation with the information that you're giving me and what I'm sort of guided to share with you. I have no need to be perfect in anything. Having a really good reputation, obviously, is something that I've always wanted to maintain. And you have to be, if you are someone that is giving messages to others, always keep in mind that we can't give someone limitations, where there's always got to be multiple ways out of a situation for a person. But what you can do is help someone to see their own limitations. And I think that's what makes the difference here. Okay. Finally, we have the Chariot. This was a sort of a bonus card. My God. It seems to me that looking at this, that there are aspects of our life that we're going to see that are really going to change because of our positive, energy. And it is warning us not to give negative thought forms any kind of room in your brain. Like, let it go. Okay? Trust. So when I get myself really stuck and worked up, I'm just human like anyone else every now and then. I say, okay, I'm overthinking this whole thing. I'm worrying about it too much. It's causing me, too much pain. I need to let it go. Let the angels deal with it. Whew. Take a, fresh breath of air, sage or whatever, and go and do whatever I've got to do. And suddenly a solution will come up. It's like crazy. It happens every time. Okay. The last thing is the Chariot. Okay. So the Chariot, here is the quatrain that this is coming from. It's coming from quatrain 449. And it says, before the people, blood will be spilled. From the heavens, it will not be far removed. So this is talking about the execution of King Charles I and the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Ooh, okay, so the Chariot here. So there are a number of pairings within the sequence of the major arcana, and in many cases the Chariot is said to balance the lovers in that it represents war or at least a warrior attitude. War, 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 Mars. This doesn't mean God. It doesn't mean World War III. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that, but there is going to be disruption, and there will have to be, in order for the truth to come, the changes to be made. Okay. So it's a card that represents great energy, and as such often shows the god Mars in his war chariot, Aries. Oh my God. fully armed and bearing an axe or other weapon, right? So the image from the Lost Book changes this completely. It shows two robed figures holding a strange vessel, from which the head and wings of an angel come out. A puff of white may be a cloud, but equally suggests steam seems to burst from the base of the vessel, right? Here then, the sacred vessel replaces the chariot, but is shown to carry an angelic presence. So this is very much in line with the older meanings of the card, which are much to do with progression and movements, right? So the fact that this vessel appears slightly squared off is important, since the chariot is often referred to as the cubic vehicle, representing the four square strength of the will required both in battle and forward momentum. Here, Nostradamus seems to be referring to the angelic or heavenly source of his prophetic visions, which are perceived as coming from God, whose angels support and protect the seer as he enters into his visionary state. The two figures holding the vessel replace the more usual horses, but the same meaning is inherent: the need to harness both emotion and will in order to succeed. The contrast with the more traditional appearance of the card is interesting, suggests that Nostradamus was moving away from the older versions in the creation of his own tarot. So the essential meaning of this card right here has always been about movement, a journey, gaining momentum. It requires the harnessing of both the will and the emotions, without which all actions may just be impulsive or dangerous. So the heart must rule as well as the head if one is to obtain one's desires. In readings, the card asks that the ego is reined in by the emotions, that to simply advance with warlike intent is a negative as any unthinking action. So often this will come up when the issue is to do with fame and fortune, the search for which has overturned many a man or woman. However, if balance and forethought are brought into play, the outcome may be well aspected. So here it talks about movement, journey, the need for emotional control, some sort of conflict, but trouble that's overcome, and harnessing emotion and will. And this is said to be a prophetic reference to the execution of King Charles I and the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Before the people, blood will be spilled. From the heavens, it will not be far removed. People are going to see liberation and truth here. There is it's like a message here of, okay, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know all of the help that is coming to in your direction and is already there. You may be twisted and confused by the media, the different coverages of things and different stories that come out and different information that's always being shared. He says this and he says that, and this is taking place here and there. But the idea is that you remember, no matter what appears to be, there's always something else that's going on underneath the surface of things. Always, right? There's always people that are helping us and nobody knows who they are. Okay? So, people who are focusing their attention on this, or beings of light, angels, our guides, our spiritual light team, are all working behind the scenes to bring justice and truth to the surface. Mars is interesting that it keeps coming up here, Saturn and Mars. And also this energy of, in these two cases, it's like someone's trying to tell us and nobody's listening, or it's being shut down. Something is opening though at the same time. So you all may know, I've talked in the past about I'm going to do another card. I've talked in the past about being suffocated a fair bit over the last few years by this channel and FB and Insta. Really strangled on those. And I've broken through it. So people are finding me again. I really hope that if you were having trouble seeing my notifications, that you made sure that you unsubscribed and subscribed again. Hit the notification buttons a few times, right? Mix with the algorithm, share, comment, like. All those things help. You know, and it is. Okay, numbers are going up again. All right, so we've broken through, right? What is the final message for all of us with regards to this reading today? What is the final message? Oh my God, justice is going to be done. Oh. Now, if you guys were listening to the Destiny Code, I went through some symbology. And one of the things I went through was the scythe, which is featured here, and that is a feminine influence. What else is on the card? There's like a leg missing here. There's like a leg here. Hope I'm still with you all. Phone rang and of course it threw me off. Okay, so we're taking a look at this real quick. This is the Justice card that came up to finish things off. There's a leg over here. I don't think it's just been... Okay. He's got his scythe, which you may know by now, has to do with feminine influences. He is a monk. He has that empty shaved spot on his head. He's offering something here. This is liberation, it says. Justice, okay? One person coming forth. All right, what is this? 8 is the Justice. Okay, so this is going to be the quatrain for this card. There will be peace, unity, and change. Low officers will become high, and the high ones low. Wow. So this will be peaceful energy here. So justice wears no blindfold and sees into the depth of our hearts, requiring us to do the same. It requires of us to be honest with ourselves and our issues, that we acknowledge the truth of our lives and set accordingly. Only by the following this precept is the truth allowed to emerge. In other words, if we live with a desire to see the truth in everything, then truth is what we'll see. But if we live with a sense of bias, we will experience everything in this light and remain out of balance. So for this reason alone, this card is crucial to any reading. What it offers us is a true statement about the issue at hand. It is, in effect, a just assessment of the situation to which we should pay the utmost attention. So what it says here, if your concern is with your own personal progress through life, it indicates a need to reassess your approach to life and to acknowledge that problems you are facing may be of your own causing. Nor should we forget that beyond the personal, the notion of justice and fairness is something we can personally implement in our dealings with the rest of the world. So scattered throughout the sequences of the major arcana are figures that represent the 4 cardinal virtues of humanity: justice, fortitude, temperance, and prudence. So originally listed by Plato, they were considered to be the foundational concepts that raised mankind above the level of the animal kingdom. Christianity later added 3 more: faith, hope, and charity, creating a moral framework upon which humanity could build a stable world. Justice ranked the highest among these, as she was believed to balance the scales of fate in such a manner that all who followed her received their just deserts according to their way of life. So earlier echoes of this archetype point to the goddess Astraea, who according to Greek myth lived on the earth during the Golden Age, but as humanity became increasingly wicked, she withdrew to live among the heavens, from where she could oversee the provision of justice to all. Interestingly, the figure which seems most to represent justice is male. In every other instance, justice is female. Here the figure is represented by a monk who stands in a rural setting holding a sickle in one hand and a flower in the other. The symbolism is clear. Justice is meted out impartially according to the life lived. The flower may be cut down at any time. Perhaps Nostradamus was thinking of the famous biblical quotation concerning the lilies of the field. How they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin, as a metaphor for a good and simple life, lived under the impartial aegis of justice. So, establishment of peace in the 23rd century. So, all in all, justice is going to be done on every occasion here. And it's funny that we have this monk and we also have these looking like monks now, because it's got the same, So maybe there is something to do with a person who just has really good, strong morals. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to be religious either, because I really feel like the religion aspect itself is not something that's just going to continue, since it has to do with categories and conforming and control, right? We don't want control. How can we have freedom for certain groups of people and establishments and not for others? You see, it has to be across the board. People have to make their own decisions with their lives, and justice needs to be done across the board. I feel like there is, as we said, there's some kind of freedom energy here that is going on behind the scenes that is going to cause a turn of events, and that everyone will then see what's been going on. That you'll have no choice but to see what's happening. And there have been things that have been happening a long time now that are finally coming to culmination here. So June is a very healing month as well, and we may see some resolutions happen to our problems on a global scale. Okay, I'm going to finally finish the reading today with some Lenormand messages. Remember, I'm also going to be back coming up soon for June messages. I am getting ready to start my academy on the 1st of June, semester 2. Of course, you can start at any time you like, but you do have to start with semester 1. It's your groundwork for everything. Okay, so we're going to have the male and female. All right, so real quick. Okay, so let's take a look at our Lenormand reading. This is for everyone. Right, this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to show you a different way. Okay. I'm actually going to put these down. I like to do my Lenormand in groups. This is what's going on. So anything near to us like this is very close by. All right, so I'm just going to start with those cards and we'll keep on building. All right, here we go. Here's where we're at. Here comes the book. And here comes the star. Here comes the key to our destiny. and the lilies. Okay, so the book and the star. An interesting combination, right? The book is representing the unknown. It's usually very mysterious. It talks about discoveries. It talks about studies. It talks about confidential information. Okay. It talks about education and training, right? As well. And because it's coupled with the star, I mean, this is about technology. This is about healing. This is about renewal and change. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is people sometimes have important information held from them. And with the book and the star coming up, it allows it to come through. Something completely unexpected is going to definitely occur. Now, we don't normally couple the star and the next card, but we're going to. So the star and the key, wow, is awards. It can be trophies. It could be winning something. It is a key to your forward movement. It is such good luck. It's not even funny. There's positive outcomes. Maybe people are recognizing you. Like maybe someone's finally going, oh my God, there's that. And this person was saying it all the time and I wasn't listening. Or whatever it is, you're going to get accolades for what you've been doing. Maybe you've been focusing on healing and sharing with others and you haven't known how to do it. And maybe you I don't know, had a client or something said, hey, let me try this with you. And this person has changed. When I hear my students say my whole life has changed, like I'm a completely different person, I am just like, yes, because they've grasped the idea of healing themselves. And then you can go ahead and heal others. It's fantastic. And this is happening to you. Not only that, but you have a pursuit of your dreams. You have success within your reach. It's crazy. The key in itself is sitting next to the lily. And this can talk about enlightenment, because this is someone also, for some of you, there's father figure energy here, there's spiritual leadership as well. But it says this is it. Success is here. It's like after we find out the information, things start coming to the surface, unexpected positive events begin to happen. We can clearly then move into the truth of our destiny. Okay, so he has this comes out again, the scythe, the sickle, and the fox. So the information that we find out, okay, is to do with these two cards. So wait a minute, I'll put them together for you. Oh my God, but it doesn't matter because we have this positivity of these three cards all working in conjunction with each other is crazy. Okay, so the scythe brings the end. The scythe just brings an end to all of the BS, right? It's right here. So when we get the scythe come up, it's coming up underneath the book, which tells us about an analysis or something being restored, okay, a restoration. It can be next to the fox, which it is here, and this could be something like someone resigning from a position, right? It could also be someone, because it's next to the fox, it could be a butcher. I don't know. I don't like that. But it's also next to the stars, which is a strategy for action. It's a new life direction. And sure, you're going to probably leave situations or resign, okay? Situations that are no good for you. This does have something to do with where you've been currently working. Maybe there's a little fox where you're working, and a fox in the workplace can mean someone who's hot stuff, but in this instance, a fox in the workplace is someone that you can't always rely on, okay? Oh my God. All right, so then we have the birds, which is information. It is messages. It is news. It is associated with communication, okay? future possibilities, and the future is, if this is talking about future possibilities, then this is absolutely positive and successful. So the birds in themselves are full of information. There's a whole lot of things that you might need to attend to. Some people have interviews, speeches that they have to do. Can predicting companionship. It can predict twins and siblings, and social communication and curious energies. Sometimes if this comes up, it could be sales. It could be lawyers and mediators sometimes come up because of the justice here, but it's all positive. Absolutely positive. Okay. Especially since we have the sun with the key to destiny here. It's like, oh my God. All right. The third round of cards. So this talks about our destiny once again and moving forward. This is the Compass card. Now the Whip card here. So I want to tell you, because the Whip has come up with the Sky, this is some kind of trouble brewing. Okay. I don't think it's not so much that the trouble is brewing because of you doing something wrong. Like, it's not that kind of trouble. Okay. It is more directed to some kind of ending, resignation, termination, something cancelled is here. Now we have to be careful with these two cards, because this can be violence in some cases, confrontation in some cases, or just having silly little accidents, right? Cutting yourself. Don't get into any arguments with anyone. It's not part of your destiny to do so. It's not worth it. Okay, but this could be on a worldwide sense where there's some kind of trouble because of an injustice, or, focusing too much on the negative and not anything positive. All right, so we're going to see what else comes up with this. Okay. And again, it's confusing. And some of you are going through a confusion with family or someone that you care deeply about. Maybe you are confused by the actions of someone else. Okay? In which case you need to pull yourself away from it anyway. Okay, so we'll just keep on going. Now, here comes the House. What's coming up with the House? Okay, commitment. All right. So some of you are signing a contract or committing to buying a house. Maybe a house is given through conflict. Maybe there is conflict surrounding who rightfully owns a house. That can come up as well. All right, let's keep on going. Clouds. Okay, but the confusion is going to end soon. Some of you are immigrating. Some of you want to travel overseas. Some of you are committing to something that is a world investment or a big investment. And you're confused, and you're thinking about these investments a little bit too much. Remember, we can make things easy for ourselves, or we can certainly make it hard for ourselves. Okay, it's all in our perspective. So with the House coming up here with the Ring, this is quite important. It is a transaction. It's a purchase, sale, or lease. It's a real estate transaction. I know that that's what we're focusing ourselves on, is that we need to be able to buy somehow, with trying not to, overthink it or worry about it, but we do, because you just get to this point where you need to settle. Now, some people with the next cards here of the 6, so the clouds and the ship, it can talk about being on a plane, being in the air, right? It can talk about June because it's the number 6. And it can talk about spring for some people. And also under the influence of Gemini, and maybe someone's going to travel towards you. Maybe they are uncertain about it. You know, it can also talk about the respiratory system as well. Maybe uncertain about things that are going on. But for many of you, it's all like, although you've been uncertain, it's like help comes available to you. So let's take a look more about this. Yeah, this house has got a beautiful garden. Okay. Now, there's an invitation for some of you, and it's quite an important event. And also there's an appreciation for you for what you've been able to help someone with. This is, again, is going to come as a gift that is unexpected, but very much appreciated, that's for sure. Okay, so we have... All right, and you may be getting some consulting, like you may be talking with someone about something important to you, maybe about a real estate transaction, maybe about a new job, maybe about entrepreneurship. You're trying to get some ideas about how to start your business, you know, how to go forward with it. I'm thinking about making some informative videos for some of you that are contemplating starting a business, and just see if that helps you. It's also talking about messages from feminine energy as well, emotional people. Mother energy is here, and it's just an activity of positive news, because this is the positive news card. Definitely you are being very, very appreciated for how you've transformed people's lives. A friend comes forward. There's karmic energy here and health energy. Well, this is kind of interesting. So you have the energy of the transformation with regards to someone who is a friend, right? Someone who is true to you. Someone who is maybe even born in August, or is a Leo as well, because of the 8. This can also talk about summer, because the coffin card is a summer card. And it talks about a friend who may need help, or a young person who needs help as well. But also that there's someone around you who's kind of trying to suck you dry a little bit. There could also be a young person who's quite depressed, all right? And you're going to have a way out of this for that person. So big changes here, probably with regards to these people in your life as well. The other thing is that you have the child next to the tree, which is another message of fertility, pregnancy, and even birth, right? For us, our dog is about to give birth. So it kind of she's like 3 days out, if that. She's gotten really fat over the last week. Okay, final round. All of our wishes. See, some of you may have a house that's got a well. Oh my God, it's gonna be really good luck here. Something you've been wanting to have happen for a long time. Oh my God, luck, abundance. Okay, here comes the message for you, and it's going to be quite stable. That's the end. So with the wishing well, that is not normally in traditional tarot, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out the wishing well. So the 5th, the 7th, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th are extremely important dates in June. Right, so we have the good luck of the lucky clover, right? We have the lucky clover good luck. We have the fish with it, which talks about prosperity in business, business opportunities, increasing sales when you have the fish there. It's an outcome, a very big outcome of things happening very favorably. And we have to look outside the box in this instance. So the clover in itself coming up here brings luck and opportunities knocking at our door. So it's appropriate, take these chances. So it could also describe an individual who's really high energy, really open-minded, okay, as well. But it also brings a twist of fate. Twist of fate for you that changes the outcome of your life for the better. How amazing is that? The fish and the birds here also bring us information about business partners, or media-based. Maybe you're doing things online, etc. It's also really an official symbol of any business. It doesn't represent corporate America, for example. That's like the Tower card. But governmental bodies and things are through the Tower card. Isn't it funny we're not seeing the Tower card? We're seeing these. This is where I decided to finish it, right? And we are, through a stroke of good luck, through someone's genius, we are stepping into seeing more abundance. We don't need to know how that comes in. One thing I always say is this is going to be easy. Thank you, angels, for taking care of the situation for me, because I'm really tired of thinking about it. It's doing my head in, so I don't want that anymore. But activate this new way of life. Activate my destiny. Do the destiny code, okay? All right, everybody. Hopefully this is all going to come together nicely. Sending you so much love and many blessings. And until the next time, bye for now.